Hey everyone, this is the video for Project 1, Activity 3 in skill building. And so this is actually going to be the last activity that you're going to do for your interactive story project. So by the end of this activity, you should have a completed project, a completed story that's ready to turn in. So we're going to go ahead and look at the assignment directions. And I'll make this full screen. And you'll see there are only 4 instructions for this assignment. You're just going to open your story up. You're going to link each of your choices in your story to the appropriate slide and make sure you link your start over choices back to the first slide. That's actually what most of this video is going to be about, is showing you how to insert links into your PowerPoint. You're going to add colors and backgrounds and pictures to each slide, and you can change the font style, sizes, and colors to match the feel of your story. And then you're going to be ready to turn your assignment in, and you're going to make sure all your links work correctly before you turn it in. Don't forget, down here at the bottom of the assignment, my example story is there along with the rubric for this assignment to show you how it's going to be graded. So you can always check that stuff out before you get started, and I recommend you do that. So for right now, we're going to go ahead and show you how to insert some links into your story. So I'm going to use Group A's story as an example, just because I know that theirs will work for this, and Marcella has pretty helpfully posted the story into the conversation section of her group's channel. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it there, and you should open up your own story at this point. And so this time, this is important because we're going to do things a little differently. Instead of editing this in Teams like we have been, I'm going to click Edit in PowerPoint. And if you're working in Chrome, it's going to give you this prompt to push this button here. So I'm going to do that. And it's going to open this story in the full version of Microsoft PowerPoint. And we need to do that because working in Teams, it gives you a sort of limited version of PowerPoint, and it doesn't give you all the features that the full version has. And we need the full version to be able to insert links. Now, before we get started, make sure that this switch for autosave is turned on here, because this isn't going to work correctly for you if it's not. If that's not turned on, you might want to raise your hand at this point and have me come over to help you so that we can figure out why that's not turned on. But make sure it is. And so I'm going to go ahead and go to slide 2 here, which would be the first slide in the story that has choices on it. And I'm going to show you how to link these choices to the places that they need to go in the story. So one of these choices on this slide is you go to your hotel. And so that choice, if I look down through the options here, that needs to go to slide number 6 in their story, because that's the one that tells you you choose to go to your hotel. So I need to link that choice to slide 6. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to highlight that choice. I'm going to go up here to Insert, and I'm going to go over here to the button that says Link. I'm going to click the drop down arrow. I'm going to go down here to the bottom and click Insert Link. And what I want to link this to is another place in this document, because I want to link it to another slide in this presentation. I'm going to go over here to the left and click Link to Place in this document. And that's going to give me a list of all the slides that are in this PowerPoint. And I want it to go to slide 6. So I'm going to choose that and hit OK. Now, if it worked, it should turn blue and be underlined. And if I want to double check that it worked, I can go into presentation mode and click on it, and it should take me to slide 6, which it does. So that's perfect. So I'm going to go back up here to the top, and for now I'm actually just going to remove the link so that Group A can do this on their own. So to do that, I'm going to right click on it, and one of the options should be Remove Link, and that takes the link off. Don't forget, when you get to an ending slide, like it has Start Over on it, you want to highlight that and do the same thing, do Insert, Link, and link it back to the title slide so that it starts over. Now, each individual in your group is responsible for linking their choices that they wrote to the appropriate places that they need to go in the document. So don't forget to make sure you comment on each slide so that I know whose slides belong to who in each group, so that when I'm checking to make sure that all of the choices in the story are linked, I know who to give that credit to. You are responsible for making the choices that you wrote into links that go to the correct places on each of your slides. So right now, have each group member do that. After you have each one of your choices linked to the appropriate places, you want to add colors, backgrounds, and pictures to your slideshow. I think most of you know how to do that. You know how to add backgrounds and you know how to add pictures. Just in case you don't, I'm going to show you how to add some pictures and some sample backgrounds to your PowerPoint real quickly. But that's the last thing you're going to do before you turn this in. If you don't know how to add pictures, the way we're going to do that is, I think this is the quickest, easiest way, is just go to Insert, Online Pictures, because that's going to let you search things online without having to save them to your computer. Now this one was about Christmas, so I'm going to search for something related to Christmas, and you'll get more results if you uncheck this box, but for now I'll just leave it checked. And I'll just grab this picture of a Christmas tree, click on it, and hit Insert. And it's going to throw that picture on that slide there for me. And I'm just going to shrink it down and put it somewhere where it's out of the way. I'm going to delete this little tag that came with it. Then I'm going to move it here to the middle somewhere, kind of turn it, make it a little bit bigger than that. Okay, now it's in front of my words there, so I'm just going to right click it and click Send to Back. It's going to put behind my words. And then if I wanted to add some color to this slide or change the background, I could go to Design, and there are themes that I could choose from. And now if I apply a theme, it's going to apply that theme to the whole slideshow. Like, let's say I chose this one. You'll notice it's going to actually change my font. It's going to add a background. It's going to change each slide. This is a decision that you are going to want to make as an entire group, because if you choose a theme, it's going to change all the slides in the presentation, and some of those are the slides you're not responsible for. So as a group, you should decide if you want to set a theme for the whole presentation, and you can pick from one of these presets, or if you want to have each person be responsible for selecting their own backgrounds and pictures. Pictures are a little different, but if you want to have each person be responsible for selecting their own backgrounds, that's up to you. If you choose a theme that goes on each slide, that'll take care of it for the whole group. If you want to have each person set their own backgrounds for their own slides, each person's going to need to be a little more responsible to make sure that gets taken care of. Pictures have to be on each slide. Each slide has to have a picture on it somewhere, and each person in the group is going to have to be responsible for setting their own pictures. Another way to do backgrounds is to go up here and choose Format Background, and you could choose a solid fill, and you could choose a fill color like that. You could choose a gradient fill, and that's like puts a color behind it that sort of changes color, and you could play with some of these options down here to change that. You could choose a picture or texture fill. If I choose a picture fill, I could find a picture from online, just like we did a minute ago, and it'll put a picture in the background of your slides. Or you can choose a pattern fill, and you can pick from these different patterns that are given to you. Okay, so that is totally up to you, and you can change the color of the patterns too. That is totally up to you and how you decide to do that as a group. I'm going to take all of this off of Group A's presentation here because this is their presentation and they may want to do something totally different here. So I'm going to undo everything that I just did and get rid of that stuff for Group A. And they did a nice job with the presentation. That's why I selected theirs as an example here. So once you are finished with that, and you can also change your font sizes and colors, once you've got your story designed the way that you want it designed, and you're sure that all your links work, I recommend you put your story into presentation mode, check to make sure all the links work, but if you're sure they do, you're ready to turn your assignment in, and all you have to do that is hit the Turn In button on the assignment for Activity 3. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know, and I'm looking forward to reading all of your stories.